America!
Fuck yeah!
Coming to save the motherfucking day, yeah!
Let's go! Sexy Sax is back, everybody! Because Team USA defeats Brazil 122-87 in the quarterfinals. We are moving on, everybody. Gotta love Team USA getting the dub and us getting a little early August Sexy Sax. Am I right?
Fuck.
And it'll be here in, hopefully, if I recall this correctly, 3, 2.
Okay.
There it is.
He's in mid-season form already. Look at this. You never get this in August.
You don't. Sexy Sax, baby. Welcome into the PHNX Suns podcast. I'm Lindsay. That's Gerald. That's Espo. Shout out to everybody who is here with us early in the chat. Leo, Steven, Eli, Beanbag, Jay Woods, Hazy, Ashley, Amelia, of course. Little Penny. What's up, Little Penny? King 3, happy to have all of you here with us. Thank you so much for joining us in the chat early. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you are here on YouTube. But yes, we did get Sexy Sax because Team USA defeated Brazil 122-87. How you guys feeling about that win? I feel like it means more now, right? Like it was fun in the beginning, but this is now like go time, go time.
Devin Booker won an elimination game, as Tim in the Discord said. Hell yeah, led the way in an elimination game.
Yeah, best player in an
I
elimination
know.
game.
Look
Let's
at
do it.
that.
Love to see
We're
it.
changing the narrative one global win at a time. Thank you, Team USA.
This is like literally the summer of Devin Booker, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, Kevin Durant doing phenomenal things, but I feel like this is just a whole nother breakout moment for Book.
Yeah.
And it's been so fun to be on his side.
Yeah.
The winning side, if you will.
Yeah, but I think it means the headband's staying. And I don't
Oh,
know how
it's
I feel
totally
about
meaning
that.
the headband is
Not the
staying.
headband book thing again.
Yeah, I think we just have
Don't
to.
make me do another deep dive into headband
on.
book.
Come on.
Please don't. Please don't
Look,
make
I'm
me
going
do
to
it.
call in Cowherd. You can't take any man serious who wears a headband.
no.
You just can't. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just worried for his hairline. That's all. That's all I'm worried
Maybe
about.
that's why he's doing it. Maybe
No,
it's
because we've seen him
preemptive.
without it, and he still looks good. I'm just worried for the hairline. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into this game. We'll start first by looking at the numbers and seeing what's inside the box. Almost. Wait.
What's in the box?
I am not in mid-season form.
That's okay,
Let's
it's
just
August.
let's get that out there.
He's
okay?
been back one day, or not even.
I've
Today's
been
his
back
first
like
day back
3
from his
hours.
honeymoon.
That's true.
And we throw a full post game at it.
That is true. Well, we got a 122-87 win over Brazil. Team USA out-rebounded the Brazilians by 12. 31 assists for them, 48 points in the paint to Brazil's 30, and nearly doubled them up in bench points, 62-34. Obviously, a lot of that in garbage time, but also a lot of that just because Team USA is that deep. And yeah, pretty much domination. There was a moment there in the second quarter where Jason Tatum and Joel Embiid were in the lineup there, and they went on a run, and they cut it to 8, and it looked a little tenuous. And then Team USA was like, you know what, let's put most of the starters back in, and it's Brazil, and we're going to do our thing. And then it was a blowout from then.
Let's be honest. That was some bad drop coverage. They were letting a 41-year-old guy, a guy older than me for Brazil, hit middies to get them back in it. Like, that was just bad drop coverage.
Let's not disrespect Marcelo Huertas, but yes, the drop coverage was...
Marcel Huertas is older than me, Gerald.
He's also much better at basketball
not
than
true.
you are. Yes.
Okay, very true. Better than I ever was.
Yes.
But when you look at these numbers, like, I think this is kind of what everyone sort of expected coming into the game, at least from Team USA side of things, right? Like, we were talking during the game. It is kind of tough. There are some teams who will give Team USA a run for their money, but then there are also teams like we saw today with Brazil and Puerto Rico where it's kind of expected for a 20, 30-point blowout.
Right.
And that's just kind of the way it is. But I think the bench points is one of the obviously standout things here, 62-34 in favor of Team USA. Well, when you got guys like Kevin Durant coming off the bench with Anthony Edwards, of course you're going to have almost double what the opponent has in that situation.
And that's why all the concern over why is Drew Holiday starting, why is Devin Booker starting is silly to me, because if they're still winning by 20-30, well, then you have a pretty balanced team. And I understand like Anthony Edwards has a case to start. Kevin Durant has a strong case to start as well. Going into this, a lot of people were making that case for Jason Tatum as well, but it's like you need to balance that. You can't just throw the 5 or 6 best scorers out that, like, you need to stagger things. So you need to have shot creators with the second unit, and with the way that Devin Booker has been willing to do the dirty work, do the glue guy things that we saw him do in Tokyo last time around, and now he's really perfected that role. Like, you could see the difference between the first quarter where he was the best player on the court versus the second quarter when they got off to that start and Brazil went on a run. It took a little bit for them to stabilize, and they had to throw the starters back in there for them to get back on track. So it's one of those things where, yes, we're not going to squabble too much over minutes in a game where they won by damn near 40, but it might matter more when you're looking ahead to Serbia on Thursday, when you're looking ahead to the gold medal game. Might need to crunch the rotation a little bit there and not try to make everybody happy if somebody's struggling.
I don't think this is the only time we're going to see bench points like this in a post-game show. We've seen how improved the Suns bench is, so I think we're going to see the same kind of level, right?
Totally. 100%. Exactly. I like where your head's at. I know that we're kind of nitpicking here when it comes to kind of the rotations of Steve Kerr and things of that nature, but it is worth discussing a little bit, and here's why. Like, let's go ahead and look at Kevin Durant and Devin Booker's stats here real quick for the game. So Book had a team-high 18 points, was 6 of 9 from the field, 5 of 7 from deep, had 3 assists, 3 rebounds in just 15 minutes, right? Then you have KD, 11 points, 4 of 8 from the field, added in 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal as well. But when we go to look at Devin, right, he only played 15 minutes. He only played 2 quarters in this game. He was hot out of the gate in the first quarter and then completely
didn't play.
Yeah, just didn't play in the second quarter. Again, the third quarter, phenomenal basketball from Book, didn't play again. I'm trying to convince myself that it was Steve Kerr being like, hey, we're playing again in just a couple days. We don't need you to play high minutes. We don't need you to play all 4 quarters. Let's just let you rest a little bit. Let's ease up a little bit.
Yeah.
But also,
right.
Like, let Book cook.
Yeah. It's one of those things where when you're playing Tuesday, you're planning to play Thursday, and then you're planning to play Saturday. That 1-day break, I know these guys are used to it in the NBA, but this is their off season, and you don't want to put too much tread on those tires, especially when you have such a deep team. With all 12 of these guys, you can make a case for deserving minutes on this team. So yeah, I do get it. I was frustrated with the second quarter. He should have played in the second quarter. Not playing him at all was kind of strange, and some people were pointing to, he had 2 fouls. Yeah, I know that they only have 5 fouls in a FIBA game, but it's also like 2 fouls in the second quarter. Like, play him a couple minutes. But I get it. Like, you're also, there's a lot of politics that come with this job, with being Steve Kerr and being in that position, wanting to keep Jason Tatum happy, and not just for this Olympics, but beyond this, because you look beyond Steph Curry, KD, LeBron, this is probably their swan song. So you need to make sure that Tatum wants to come back in 2028 and all that good stuff. I get it. But when he went on there, it took him a while to stabilize. And I hope that it was just a matter of, we're going to preserve Book after that great first quarter, great third quarter. They didn't need him in the fourth anyway. Let's save him for Thursday and beyond.
Yeah, and like you said, it is politics, in a lot of ways. I mean, you look at it, this is the coach of the Golden State Warriors, having to play guys from teams he's going to compete with. If you're going to bring a guy like Jason Tatum all the way out there the Celtics probably want him to at least get a little run if you're gonna do that. Like it's not easy. I guarantee you're right. If things get close in that Serbia game, those rotations shrink. If you face Germany or whoever is in that gold medal game, and it's tight, those rotations shrink. Like this isn't, hey, everybody's gonna get some time, and we're gonna have orange slices at halftime, and you're all getting a participation trophy. No, this is. This is big boy basketball when it comes down to it, and you're out there representing your country. And I think we're getting to that time where Steve Kerr, if necessary, is just going to pull in the reins and play the guys that can. But honestly, I don't mind if Devin Booker can go out there for 15 minutes, lead the team in scoring, and sit his ass on the bench. I'm okay with that.
I will admit that I am being a little selfish with the request to have Book play more in a game like this.
Me too.
Of course, yeah. I'm not going to pretend that it's not from a selfish ego standpoint.
Damn it,
here.
I wanted to have 30 in 23 minutes.
But regardless of how many minutes he did play, Espo, to your point, team high 18 points. He was absolutely cooking out there. And even it's so cool for Book too, because he talked about it in his post game, that it's just kind of any given night, whatever the team needs. He hasn't been asked to necessarily score the ball as much as we saw from him today.
Right.
But he got the opportunity to, and he took advantage of the opportunity that was given to him. So it's been really neat to see Devin in all these different roles, essentially. Obviously, the base role remains the same, but he can thrive as a high number scorer, or he can dish out all the dimes. Like, it just, whatever the team needs, he's willing to do it.
Right. And that's the encouraging thing, is that I think Steve Kerr said the other day he's been the most adaptable guy on Team USA in terms of he plays a very different role with the Phoenix Suns as opposed to Team USA. And I have seen people say, we need this Book for the Suns. No, you don't. You don't need a role player who's doing all these different things. You need Devin Booker to be Devin Booker still. But yes, we would like to see like the defense and all around play. But at the same time, if he did that, he'd be dog tired in 30 minutes.
True.
You need Royce O'Neal to be that Devin Booker for the Suns.
And like, because he's doing the little things. Like early on, his first bucket of the game, the first bucket for Team USA, offensive rebound and putback. He broke up a pass. His first 3 assists, I think, were to Joel Embiid, who, as we know, has struggled throughout this Olympic process. Today, he had his best game that he's had for Team USA so far, and part of that was Book helping get him going early. So he's doing a lot of those little things, a lot of the defensive things, the things that don't really show up. Today we were fortunate that we got 18 points with it as well, but I am encouraged that he's taking as many threes as he's taking as well for the Olympic team, because we know that needs to be a point of emphasis for the Suns, and we're hoping that Mike Budenholzer is able to bring that. So the fact that he's already kind of getting his feet wet in that regard, hopefully that's a good sign.
We need more threes from Book. We could never get enough threes when it comes to Book. But yeah, so super fun stuff from Devin Booker. Leo in the chat is asking if we're going to get a big, bright, shiny star. Yes, Leo, we will. But you're just going to have to hang tight for a minute on that one. But first, I do want to remind you guys, our friends over at Bet365, things are never ordinary with Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, you want to get in on the action. And at Bet365, because things are never ordinary, they are letting you choose your own adventure when you sign up, which is pretty cool too. So all you got to do is open an account at Bet365, use the code PHNX365 to sign up. You deposit $10, and then you get to choose between either a bet and get promotion, where you place a bet of $5 or more and you get $150 in bonus bets, or you can choose a first bet safety net offer by placing a bet up to $1,000. And if your qualifying bet loses, then you receive a matched refund in bonus bet. So it's kind of, like I said, a choose your own adventure, because Bet365 does things differently. One of the other different and unique things about Bet365 is they have the early payout offers. So you can see this in the NBA, MLB, NFL, and NHL. And when it comes to the NBA, you get your straight bets paid out or your parlay selections marked as winners whenever your team goes up by 20 points. Like, this is such a cool feature that I want to make sure you understand is like incredibly unique.
Yeah.
So they're trying to help you out.
You would have won early in today's game.
Yes, exactly. So check out our friends over at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code PHNX365 when you sign up and choose your offer, and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. We also are going to have some really cool PHNX bet specialties throughout the season, so get in on the action now. Disclaimer, you do have to be 21 or older and physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342 or visit problemgambling.az.gov.
Well, we got a chance to enjoy a little time this morning together as a PHNX family, and as most families do, we went to a car dealership. We went out to Sanderson Ford and hung out there with great people at their dealership, and it was unbelievable, right? We've read how big their dealership is, and you go, it can't be that. No, it was that big. I can tell you for sure because Max and I actually wound up after you all left driving the entire thing trying to find a specific
They have a museum
place.
on
That's
property.
what we were trying to find, and the whole thing was unbelievable. I got to tell you, I was talking with the great people out there about the Ford Mustang Mach-E, the electric Mustang that I've been very interested in, and they kind of ran me through everything with it because I live in the far East Valley. I drive even further southeast to drop my kid off at school, and then I drive downtown. My concern's always, can you get the mileage on it? They said no problem with the Mach-E, so I actually think I'm gonna test drive one of them soon over there. But I gotta tell you, Eric, do you have the X Factor sounder for me? The X Factor at Sanderson Ford is that Starlight Cafe. You got the picture of what I had today for lunch out there. They had the quesadilla. That's right.
Espo ordered a quesadilla.
I was disappointed.
What is it out of 10? What are you going to give it?
I give it a 9 out of 10. That was a quality quesadilla and it's a real diner. This ain't some rinky-dink little.
It's super cute.
There's
a milkshake.
There's a little stand over there. You can get some food while you're getting cut. No. You can go get a full meal at this diner.
Yep.
I was a little disappointed. One thing, all of them were named after Ford cars, and the quesadilla was just quesadilla. So I don't know if there's a Ford quesadilla, but I might test drive that too. It was fantastic. Highly recommend that you guys head out there and do that because our friends at Sanderson Ford have the summer sales event that's going on. They're teaming up with the Boys of Summer. Which, you could have called all of us out there running around today, the Boys of Summer, for a final playoff payoff sale. That's right. If you purchase or lease any new Ford, you get 4 tickets for you and your family, or if you don't like your family, you and 3 friends, to see the D-backs push for the playoffs. And also get 0% for 36 months OAC from Ford Credit. See dealer for details. Highly recommend you go check out our friends at Sanderson Ford.
They should call it the Ford Fiestadilla.
Oh, you so fancy, Gerald. It's like you maybe make these kind of puns for a living. Who would have thought? Espo's not about it.
That's too
I sing for you yesterday, and that's what you bring to the table for me?
You're welcome, Ford.
Let's talk about our boy Kevin Durant. 11 points today, and with those 11 points, Kevin Durant became the all-time leading scorer for Team USA in both men and women's Olympic history, passing Lisa Leslie for that number 1 spot. Round of applause. KJ just picking up. He's picking up all the awards.
Yes.
Just a couple days ago, it was the all-time leading rebounder.
He was already the men's leading scorer.
Yes.
It just shows you how great Kevin Durant is and has been beyond just the NBA and international play. I mean, hell, Devin Booker after the game said that's Captain America stuff there. Like when you're calling Kevin Durant Captain America, he's got something going right. I love watching him in the FIBA game. I love watching him in the NBA. But, man, he's doing anything. Just like Book. They're saying, come off the bench. You're still going to play a massive amount of minutes, but you're going to go out there and do what you do internationally. And he's well on his way to another gold. He's got to be, hands down, the best Team USA player, at least from a men's perspective, ever, and probably right up there with potentially another Arizona athlete, Diana Taurasi, who's going to get potentially her 6th gold this Olympics. It's pretty impressive what he's been able to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. On the men's side, for sure, he is the greatest Team USA basketball player that we've ever seen. And it's funny because it felt like he didn't shoot the ball that well today, and you look down and he was still 4 for 8 overall. So still shooting 50%. That's pretty crazy. And the guy's 3-point shooting percentage in all Team USA Olympic competitions is just absurd. So kudos to him. That's really cool for him. And hopefully they are able to get him his 4th gold, as Book alluded to in his post-game interview. Like, that will be a really cool moment for him, especially playing on this team with LeBron and Steph and all these guys who are kind of going through what feels like their last ride. That's a really cool thing.
Yeah, Devin said in his post-game interview, quote, "That's Captain America status. Now we have to go get him his 4th gold." Like, KD is kind of Captain America, right? Leo said it in the comments. KD's Captain America, Book is Iron Man, and Ant is Ant-Man.
There you go.
Of course, because it just works.
Do we like Iron Man for Book? I feel like
They did fight at one point, so...
Yeah. And I feel like
Maybe
Iron
not.
Man's kind of a douchey
Who's the
pick
other
for
one?
Book, right?
Is he? I feel like
He's not Hawkeye.
he's not Hawkeye. No, Hawkeye's lame.
He's not Hulk.
He's not Hulk.
I don't know. I could see, because Hulk is mild mannered when he's not Hulk, but when he goes Hulk, he
like
dominates,
Armani
right?
mode.
I
I
think
feel like Hulk has to be a big guy, though.
Yeah, like Giannis
Like,
is
just by
more
nature.
like the
I feel
Hulk.
like he's... I don't know.
Do
Like,
we need to make this a thing
that we dive
deep into
he's
all
so
of this?
suave. He's so cool. I feel like Black Panther is like
You okay?
or
he's
could
one of the cool ones that has that aura about him.
or could he be the new Captain America? Could he be the guy in waiting to take over for Kevin Durant as Captain America?
Is he Deadpool, like Austin says
Oh
in
my
the chat?
God,
Booker
No.
Booker does not have the Deadpool
No.
I
personality.
feel like Ant has the Deadpool
Totally.
mouth, at least. It's the
This
smirk with the
segment
mouth.
brought to you by your local comic book shop.
But yeah, I feel. I don't, we'll have
We'll
to
gotta
think about this.
this. Yeah,
I don't
think
want to
about this
do Sam Wilson and the new Captain America until I see the new movie, which doesn't look that great. So I don't want to throw a book under
I
the
think
bus
the
like
Black
that.
Panther thing is cool because it's like, the people who aren't paying attention have absolutely no idea how good he is, but the people
Yeah.
who are around and know and see the work are like, this is the greatest thing
Right.
that's ever existed.
Yep.
Phoenix is kind of like Wakanda, where nobody in the NBA knows it exists unless you make the NBA Finals.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, we'll revisit this maybe on Thursday after their next matchup. But if you're a diehard, let us know in the diehard only Discord what your vote is. We'll have your vote also weigh in on this final decision-making process here. If you're not a diehard, you can become one at gophnx.com. It gets you lots of perks, including access to that diehard Discord I mentioned, just saying. But back to KD, Lisa Leslie also tweeted out during the game, "Well, let me start to congratulate KD as he gets ready to break one of my Olympic records, the Slim Reaper, one of my all-time favorites."
What's funny is she actually tweeted this a few days ago. She
Oh,
was
she
like,
did?
yeah,
I
she's
just
proud.
saw it during the game.
yeah, no, she's gearing up. She was like, yeah, he's gonna break it next game, so I'm gonna get ahead of this right
She got
now.
way ahead of it.
Yeah,
then.
She
She
just
did.
maybe she just retweeted today, so she's like, "Yeah, I already got that done."
Yeah, so no, that's pretty cool. It's cool that someone made her aware of that, because I don't know if you would be aware of that just on your own, but unless you're watching the game and they brought it up for some reason. But that's I love those moments of the crossover and the support that the men and women's team have for each other, especially on this stage. You see it in this Olympics as well. KD and Book being there, but obviously Diana Taurasi, Kalia Copper, Brittany Griner, all the support that they have, and them talking about how Phoenix is a basketball town. I love those types of moments and the support that they have for each other. So that's pretty cool that one of the all-time greats is acknowledging another all-time great.
Yeah, I mean that's how it should be, though. Yeah, when you pass along the torch, it should be acknowledged in that way. And that Katie knows the history of the game, knows the women's game. That probably means something to him, as well. So I like it a lot. I want to address one thing in the chat. Will Capitan says, "Grown men talking about comic book superheroes. Hey, nerds are people too, all right?"
Also,
Sorry,
it's
Gerald.
okay to like whatever you like.
Yeah, I like what you like.
Also, some of the most mainstream media.
Yeah, check
out there.
who owns the box office right now for last weekend.
No shade.
Sorry.
No shade.
A little shade on my part now.
I'm bringing all the shade, actually.
I was trying to defend us, Gerald. We're people too, all right?
We're people too.
That stuff hurts my feelings, all right?
I support the
I'm a
nerds. I do. But yeah, today, listen, it wasn't one of the most crazy performances from Kevin Durant as far as scoring numbers or things of that nature, but he also didn't need to be today.
No.
Again, it's delivering what you're being asked in the moment for this team. And even with KD not needing to do that, still, like you said, shooting 50%, double-digit points to get that leaderboard. Like, it's just really cool to see what all of these guys have been able to put together over the last couple of games and what hopefully they continue to do. Because I would love to see Kevin Durant get his 4th gold medal, because is this KD's last hurrah as well? Honestly?
I mean, he'd be
I know
30,
we always say that with like
39.
Steph and LeBron, but
It could be. I feel like he could have one more in him if he's interested in doing that.
yeah.
I feel like he's always going to be interested, because basketball just feels like if they wanted him at 44, 2 Olympics from now,
Right.
it wouldn't shock me that he'd be willing to be part of the team, because he just seems to want to play ball. I mean, we saw that clip of him practicing his jump shot in the club.
I know.
Like, this is a guy that wants to hoop whenever he can.
I
so.
just know that at some point in time they're all going to hang up the hat, and it's going to be a really sad day in basketball, just when it all happens, and it's kind of just around the corner, unfortunately, not to take us down a somber road. So I'll flip us back
We
around.
still have 2 games.
I know. Sorry. Flip us back around here. It's
Hopefully.
time to name our big, bright, shiny star.
yeah.
Guess who it's going to be?
It's Kevin and Devin.
What?
Both of them. Shocker.
And it
29
looks like they're
points
hugging.
combined, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. That's a great picture, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty
That
cool.
is a really good picture. Of course, we had to give big, bright, shiny stars to both of these guys today, because they played well out on the court, doing great things behind the scenes as well, and just continuing to add checking boxes, to their resumes.
Book was the best player for Team USA today, and Kevin Durant made history and became the best Team USA player of all time. So that's pretty cool.
We didn't include the best thing that they did, though.
What
What's
was
that?
the best
I
thing
mean,
they
did you see that shot of them on the bench? Anthony Edwards in between them. They're
Mhm.
recruiting him to Phoenix.
Is that what's happening?
Let's start it right here. They're recruiting him to Phoenix. Minnesota is going to be really sad when he leaves, but it's going to be great when you flip, Yusuf Nurkic and some seconds for
Right.
Ant. I mean, bring him in.
Listen, I support that way more than our friend Casham in the chat trying to talk about free KD for Cat, and Alexander Walker in a 1st-round pick, because the NBA needs KD and Ant duo. Hello,
Probably don't.
bring Ant to Phoenix, sir.
Can I
What
answer?
are we doing?
Can I
It's not
answer
doable,
him?
but,
We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen in 2026.
Sure.
Let me answer him in the most Ant way I can.
Sure.
All right.
Oh.
There you go, Casham.
Is this going to be like the new thing? Because we got it from Joel Embiid today
did.
as well.
And we
got it from Snoop.
Dogg.
That was great.
Like, is this the new thing of the NBA? Are we making that happen
It's
again?
making a comeback.
Because wasn't that like a WWE thing
Yes, it
way
was
back in the
night-
day?
Yep.
in the Attitude Era, right?
Yeah,
making a
something like
comeback.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm not
Sorry.
mad.
Derek Montia's off to the side. He's our resident WWE expert.
I am
was
not
trying to-
mad if
You
it
heard it.
comes back.
You heard-
Since you're
Oh.
calling me out, I have
No, no,
your
no.
Circle K.
No,
No,
no, no,
Derek, bring
Sure,
it in.
sure.
This is amazing.
Nobody
Look at
saw
this.
that get delivered.
No,
okay.
sorry.
No, this is the best delivery. These are the best type of deliveries. If you have somebody in your workplace who's willing to run to Circle K for you and like let you put in a request for things you want them to bring back, you're living life right. Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest. He hooked me up with the shareable size too, peanut M&Ms from our friends
You ain't-
over
you
at
ain't
Circle K.
sharing those.
I'm not.
That's a whole
I'm gonna
issue.
share with myself. I'll have some now, and I'll have a few later as well. But if you have not been to Circle K lately, you're absolutely missing out. The Polar Pops and the Frosters alone are the reason why you should go to Circle K, in my opinion. And right now, you can get a Polar Pop or Froster, any size, for just 79 cents through September 3rd at any Arizona location. But if you are an Inner Circle member, which is a free membership program, you're going to get it for just 69 cents.
Nice.
Also, as a part of that membership program, you're going to save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. You save 3 cents per gallon every single day. And there are always coupons and offers inside the Inner Circle app that you can find. So join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Thank you, Derek.
There's a lot of things we can disagree about in this world. I mean, comic book movies, Devin and Kevin, Ant stuff, LeBron. But one thing we can't disagree about is if you can get wireless service for $15 a month, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
That's just the truth. Nobody can argue with that. And our friends at Mint Mobile are making that possible. You want a second phone because you don't want people from work getting in touch with you? You can do that. You want to take your iPhone from whatever carrier is screwing you over right now? You can do that. Bring it over to Mint Mobile. $15 a month for the first 3 months. That's it. No strings attached. It's that easy. It's that simple. I can tell you because I've done it. I'm actually a Mint Mobile customer myself. I'm not going to tell you to use something I'm not using.
Right.
That would be fraudulent, and I am not fraudulent. I'm just not.
Ain't me.
You can do that. You're going to get unlimited data. You can get everything that you like everywhere else. The calls, the texts, everything that you need. You can get it from our friends at Mint Mobile for just $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/sons. I'm actually going to change the /espo, but go to /sons for now. That's mintmobile.com/sons. I actually convinced myself of that. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/sons, because apparently I have to say it 3 times. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds are slower, above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Don't want to know what you're doing with 40 gigabytes of data if you go that high. Additional taxes and fees and restrictions apply. See mintmobile.com for details.
Dagoon in the chat said, and Ryan Reynolds will come to your house and bake cupcakes. No cap, he'll do it. So
Yeah.
I can't promise you on that.
There might be a
might not
little
be
bit
in
of
the
cap
terms
in
and
that.
conditions,
It's a lot
but
of cap.
I don't
Maybe.
recommend
Maybe.
that part. He stole my wife. So.
oh no!
But
Hi,
the-
Tracy.
The cookies were good,
the cupcakes.
or the cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
He baked. That part was good.
Hey.
Nice.
All right. So the next game is on Thursday against Serbia. It'll happen at 12 p.m. our time.
Yep.
So that's another one we will definitely be tuning in for and then talking about on Thursday. But in the meantime, let's talk a little bit of shenanigans happening while all of these people, all these great athletes are hanging out in Paris together. Because Katie and Book are both, before we get into the real shenanigans, we'll talk about some classy stuff here. We got Katie hanging with Katie Ledecky, and this picture is just like screams gold.
Yes.
Like,
That's dope.
Dude, I'm going to go an old movie reference.
What's that?
Austin Powers,
Okay.
the third one. I love gold. And that's what this picture screams to me when I see
right?
it.
I mean,
Pretty cool.
100%. I love seeing all of the guys and just kind of taking in every different sport that's been highlighted at the Olympics. Like we saw them out at gymnastics, track and field, you name it. I feel like they've been there. It's been so cool to see how ingrained they are because NBA players aren't staying where the rest of the Olympic athletes are staying, which is no big deal. Like they're massive men. Of course, they're going to want to stay in a much more comfortable situation
Right.
for them.
Dorms
And they
with
have the
cardboard
means to
beds,
afford
damn
it, right? Like it's no big deal, but they're still involved. They're completely active in everything that is going on. And these are 2 top-notch athletes right here.
There is very few times where you would see a picture and the person next to KD has more accolades than Kevin Durant. She has so many records. Like you look at it and they'll show a top 10 fastest times in her event of all time, and it's all 10 of hers.
It's nuts.
Like Katie Ledecky's insane, and it's cool to see these athletes from different disciplines meet up like that and have a bond because they're all part of Team USA and rode down the sun in the same boat and got rained on together. So.
Yeah, this is one of the cooler parts of the experience. Obviously, competing with teammates that you normally wouldn't play with is part of it. Winning gold with those guys, obviously a huge part of it. But when events have come to Phoenix, like the Final Four, like the Super Bowl, things like that, we've seen Book and in recent years, KD be really excited to be able to go out to those events, meet some of these people, watch them, these other experts in their craft, and express their mutual appreciation for each other. And I think that's one of the coolest parts about being at the Olympics is you are seeing the best of the best in all of their different sports. You get to have an appreciation for all these other different sports that you wouldn't get to take in normally here in Phoenix or anywhere really, and get to kind of network with these people and talk to them and trade secrets of what makes you a master of your craft. Like it's really cool stuff for us plebeians to see from the outside.
Yeah.
They're like these pure peasants on the outside don't know what it's like to be this amazing.
Pretty much. But
Yeah.
also I do know for Book, this is something that he didn't really get to enjoy last time. Tokyo with the pandemic, with, going straight from the finals to the Olympics, not really getting that chance to do some of these things. So it's cool that they're able to make the most of it.
And we got another one from Book, who Book has been out in the mix like no one's business, vlogging, giving us all the behind the scenes, which has been phenomenal. But the newest one, we got Book and Suni Lee together. And this is an adorable photo, first and foremost. You gotta go and read the comments though under every single platform or outlet that posted this picture, because it's all talking about how adorable this picture is, how they would of course make the cutest couple ever. We've never seen Book smile as big as he's smiling in this one. Regardless, I think I would say like 80% of them are actually like cute, clean, positive comments, which is rare for social media, so that's why we bring it up. It's y'all were actually being sweet in it.
I have a different take here. Can we put the photo back up?
Oh no, what's the take?
Suni Lee is all about, gymnastics is all about form and everything. She sure is leaning a hell of a lot away from Book as Book's leaning in here. She's like, maybe it's, I don't know. Who is this guy?
She's literally standing straight up.
She just has really good posture because she's an athlete.
She's probably trying to stand up as tall as she can because she's a gymnast and he's an NBA player. So
I will say though, for real, this is one of the bigger cheesy smiles we've seen from Book in a while. And being for real this time, I think it goes beyond just the photo in and of itself. But Gerald, to your point, how he's been able to actually take all of this in truly for what is basically the first time, because his last time around in the Olympics was not even close to what it could have been or should have been, unfortunately. So this is a first, really, for Devin.
Yeah, and he was out there watching the gymnastics as well. Like I think he has an appreciation for what Lee and Biles were able to do for Team USA. So we joke a little bit, but yeah, I think it is a great deal of admiration there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. I know it's a short one today, but that's all I got for you. Any final thoughts before we head out?
No. Team USA, let's do it again on Thursday.
Yes.
It's going to be fun.
I'll save my final thought for the closing.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us for this mini post game celebrating Team USA's win over Brazil. We will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. for another show, so plan to join us then. And until we see you tomorrow, make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you're here with us on YouTube. Rate, review, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, follow the show on social at PHNX Suns, at PHNX _ Suns.
Yeah.
Had a horrible moment there. And of course, you can follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourget. And you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
Remember, on Thursday, we're rooting for the USA. DNVR is rooting for Serbia. Take that as you will. Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.